A lot of times when people are considering moving to Fort Lauderdale, they don't really know the general lay of the land. So in today's video, I kind of want to take you on a map tour of all of Lauderdale and go through more of the individual neighborhoods, give you guys some price points, an idea of what's there and where they're located, and hopefully that should help in your search. Do me a favor, down in the comments below, if there's a specific neighborhood that you want me to do a tour of, let me know. I'm going to slowly start to get around to all of Lauderdale, and I'm trying to kind of triage these and figure out what it is that you guys want to see. I know where people buy most often that are my clients, but if this is a different audience than my normal referral client, I want to be aware of that. So anyways, let's get started with our map tour here. All right, so of course we're going to start out with a wide view. First thing to note is, I say this all the time, we're geographically constrained. Let me scroll out a little bit more to really put a fine point on that. So here's the ocean, here's the Everglades. We don't have any room to expand either way. So what's here is what's here in terms of the land. So just kind of important to know, because I think a lot of times people get caught up in thinking that, we're just going to be able to expand west, and that's just simply not the case. And clearly we can't expand to the east. So that's our first note. All right. And again, I kind of went through this before on another video, but to give you the overall, down here is Hollywood, here's Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach up here, Parkland, Coral Springs going to be up here, Plantation, Southwest Ranch is out here, Cooper City, Pembroke Pines, and Davie, kind of this generalized area. So today we are just going to zoom down to Lauderdale, and I think in order to do this logically, we're going to start from the west and then head east. So I'm going to kind of zigzag around a little bit because it's a little bit difficult to do this, so I'm going to try to break it into squares. I think that's the most logical way. But a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle, so kind of bear with me. Pricing is current as the time that I filmed this video, which is October 18th, 2023. It will change. The reason I'm mentioning pricing in this video is that so you can kind of have an idea that the rifts in pricing will probably remain the same from area to area. So you don't necessarily take this video as the price you'll be able to get a property at in the future if you're watching this down the line. But again, you can see where prices start out the lowest in some neighborhoods, go to the highest, and give you an idea of kind of what neighborhoods are less pricey than other ones. And I hope that will help. Again, it's not going to be exact, but look, overall, pricing is pretty easy to figure out from this standpoint. The closer you get to the ocean, the more expensive it gets. All right, there's some outliers, but that's kind of in Lauderdale anyways, that's generally how it goes. Unless otherwise noted, the values are going to be for the single family homes, just because that makes up the predominance of the listings. There are a couple of areas in Lauderdale that have more condo listings than single family home listings, so when that happens, I'll tell you. And again, keep in mind that I'm going to give you guys starting prices and median prices. The starting prices are just that. That's likely going to be tear down value. That's going to be the worst house in the neighborhood. That's just where prices right now start in that given neighborhood. So please kind of use that as a little bit of a gauge. And I chose to use median instead of average because I think it's a better reflection, as in some areas there's only 9 or 11 listings. I think it was a better idea. So all right, let's start out first over here, kind of by Melrose, Riverland. I've done a separate video on that already. So anyways, prices in this area are going to start at $400,000. Median pricing $585,000 for non-waterfront. Waterfront is going to start down, waterfront meaning right down here. And when I say waterfront, I'm meaning not behind any fixed bridges. There is a big rift in pricing, and as we get into specific neighborhoods, you'll see behind a fixed bridge is going to be worth less money than something that is not behind a fixed bridge, because you can't dock large boats behind fixed bridges. So anyways, waterfront is going to start right around $900,000 down here. Your median price is going to be just over $1 million. And again, that's waterfront without fixed bridges. All right, so here's 95, here's 595, here's the airport. We're now going to skip across, and let me start to zoom in here so we can get a better view. We're going to jump across here into Edgewood. Prices are going to start here at 400,000, median of 585,000. As you can see, there is no waterfront property here that we have to worry about pricing in. This neighborhood, this is Marina Mile right here, State Road 84. So you have really good access from here to either get right onto Federal Highway to get into downtown, which is going to be right up here. Or you can go west to get right on 95 or meet up with 595. And again, the airport's right down here. The port is right over here. So right around this Edgewood area, you have a lot of convenience. The vast majority of things in here are single-family homes. There's a couple of townhome complexes that come to mind, but really single-family is going to be what's here. Now, if we hop up here where River Oaks and Croissant Park is, I'm going to separate out Shady Banks because it's a little bit of a different animal. But River Oaks and Croissant Park, we'll talk about them a little bit interchangeably. There are some condos and townhomes mixed into the area, but again, the vast majority are single-family homes. More townhomes really pop up around Croissant Park, and a lot of the building going on there now are townhomes. So prices are going to start at $450,000 in this area. Median pricing $750,000. Now again, I'm excluding Citrus Isles and Shady Banks from this, so we're just talking about the non-waterfront properties. If you want to look, if we hop over here at Citrus Isles, which is going to be this area right in here, named so because you can see Tangelo, mandarin, guava, avocado, mango, so obviously that's why they're called Citrus Isles. This is going to be, there are no fixed bridges here. You see, this is going to be the fixed bridge. So this is where pricing is going to change. No fixed bridges back here. Prices are going to start at just over $1 million with a median of $1.2 million for just this right here. If we pop over to Shady Banks, again, you can see we've got some waterfront here, waterfront here, waterfront, waterfront. These are all, again, not behind fixed bridges. It's also a really cool name of a neighborhood, right? Shady Banks is just kind of a fun name. So anyways, there's only 2 roads in and 2 roads out, really, to get in here. You get in through here, or you get in through, through here. So there's not a whole lot of ways to get in and out of Shady Banks, which means it's not a cut-through neighborhood. You can't cut through here to get anywhere. So there's a lot less traffic back here, which is a nice consideration and, kind of something I like to think about. Prices are going to start at $600,000, median of $950,000. Let us scroll out a bit and pop up. Traveling north again, you've got Riverside, all in here. Whole lot of redevelopment's been done here over the last, let's call it 7 to 8 years. It just a whole lot of homes being renovated and new stuff going up, so a lot of activity there. Tarpon River is going to be right over here. And we can pop up to Sailboat Bend, which would be up here. Now, for reference, downtown Lauderdale is right here. So when you get into these neighborhoods, you get into only a handful of minutes away from being in downtown. Let's just kind of look at all 3 combined. Again, this is just a broad overview. There are 3 separate and distinct neighborhoods, but in the interest of time, let's just kind of do it this way. There is a mix of homes here. You have condos. Well, there's going to be some condos here. There's going to be condos here. Townhomes mixed in throughout. and single-family homes. Single-family homes, again, going to make up the predominance of inventory here. If we stick with single-family homes in this area, prices are going to start a bit above 575 with a median value of 1.2. There are some nice townhome products in this area also for somebody looking at that kind of product. All right, now, because I don't want to stray too far, I think the next logical thing to do would be look at downtown. Now, as you can tell, if we scroll in a bit, when we're in downtown, you're not going to see single-family homes. You're going to see condo buildings. That's what's here. You're also going to pay to play if you live around here, right? So, note, this is the tunnel. We are west of US 1. This is Broward Boulevard. Las Olas, right, all down here. So the kind of the core of the city and the buildings people ask me about a lot are Las Olas Grand, Las Olas River House. There's pre-construction at 6th and Rio now. 100 Las Olas, 350 Las Olas, Water Garden, New River Landings, Las Olas by the river. They're kind of all very popular buildings that people are considering living down here, living in this area, ask about. There is one pre-construction project, and 100 Las Olas is newer. It's tougher and tougher to build condos downtown now, mainly because if you look around, there isn't a whole lot of land left, and the stuff that is getting built is going to multifamily. So a little bit of a scarcity of supply, but nonetheless. Prices are going to start at $350 for a one-bedroom. Median price of $875, and that's across all listings here. This really goes building by building. If you tell me you want to be in the Las Olas Grand for $350,000, I mean, we're not even getting you a parking space for that price. So, it really depends building by building. All right, let's scroll up a little bit here. This area here is going to be known as Flagler Village. This is an area that I've done a lot of work in. I can tell you a whole lot about the land when it was vacant and what it looks like now. It's just fantastic, phenomenal, almost stifling growth in this area over the last handful of years, and with more projects planned, so it's really going vertical. The thing is, everything that's been built, they're all rental buildings. There's really no new housing stock in this area that's been built that you can actually buy. So again, we're kind of getting into scarcity of supply here. Doesn't mean that down the line some of these rental buildings can't convert to condos. It's just that right now this is how they sit. I also don't think there's a huge likelihood of that, but that's a story for another day. Prices are going to start at $400,000 for a one-bedroom with a median price of $550,000. A lot of people starting out in Lauderdale that are looking for a condo end up in Flagler Village, and there's a lot of reasons for it. There's a lot to do right here that you can, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump down here to Las Olas. You're right in downtown if this is where you're working. There's a whole lot to just do in the area. So, popular, and I don't think that's going away. Progresso Village can be right over here to the west, followed by Dorsey and Durs over here as we move towards 95. Single-family homes are going to make up pretty much all the listings in this area. This is a townhome complex, but for the most part, and you do have some townhomes that are mixed in over here, but for the most part, really just single-family homes. Prices are going to start at right around $300,000 with a median price of $395,000. I think in order to keep this logical, and again, I'm sorry if I'm stuttering around a little bit, but I want to do this logically as best I can. So if we kept traveling up 95 and we stayed west of Federal Highway, we get kind of into our next large box here that will start to break down. So let's start where you'd be Lauderdale Manors, South Middle River. It can be there's only single family homes here. Prices start at $350, a median of $480. This is going to be, this is going to be Northeast 4th. Corner of Sunrise and 4th is right here. If we travel east of that, Lake Ridge, Middle River Terrace, Poinsettia Heights. And again, generally speaking, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, as we travel more east, prices are going to start increasing, right? Especially in this Poinsettia Heights, Lake Ridge area, the growth in home value the last handful of years here has really been astonishing. There's a lot of redevelopment going on there as well. And you can see we get into a little bit of a mix up here of some waterfront properties. Now, fixed bridge, non-fixed bridges. So you are behind 2 fixed bridges by the time you get into this area. Okay, just again, for those people that want waterfront, you're going to be able to get it at more of a discount in this area, but the size of the boat you're going to be able to get in and out of there is going to be noted. Prices are going to start $570,000, a median of $850,000, kind of spread out across this area. Okay, if we keep traveling north, here we are in Wilton Manors. Wilton Drive cuts all the way through. You can see there. Lots to do on the drive. Lots of great restaurants, fun place. There's shops mixed in everywhere. Anyways, price is starting at $540,000 with a median of $890,000 for single-family homes. There's a decent number of condo and townhome options in Wilton Manors, but again, in the interest of time, I'm going to kind of stick with the single-family home. Oakland Park. Here we are. Now, let's see. This is going to be Oakland Park Boulevard. Right down here. St. Mark's. This is where my daughter did all of her pre-K, so good memories there. Anyways. So, Funky Buddha, great brewery, fuzzy memories at Funky Buddha. Anyways, we're going to stay between Commercial Boulevard, Oakland Park Boulevard. We are going to stay west of Federal Highway. There is a section, the reason I got a little quiet there is there is a section of Oakland Park that extends up into here. But just for the sake of this video, I'm really going to be talking about, again, this kind of generalized square area. There's a number of townhome projects that have kind of been beginning to pop up. Some condo listings do exist, but again, the majority are going to be single-family homes. Prices are going to start right around $400,000, median is $650,000. And if we keep traveling north, we're going to get into Imperial Point. So now, north of Commercial, west of US 1 Federal Highway, east of 95, Imperial Point. Okay. We're getting a little closer to the ocean here, so logically speaking, here we go. Prices are going to start at $675,000 with a median of right around $1 million for single-family homes. Okay, Atlantic up here, we're getting into Pompano when we get up here. So, head back down towards Lauderdale, Bay Colony, the landings. I'm going to separate this out because here is the Intracoastal. Value is going to change. Generally speaking, west of US 1, east of US 1, onto the barrier island. So price brackets are just going to change kind of, with that in mind. So if you are on Bayview Drive here, see Bayview? See these little things? These are going to put you behind fixed bridges on this side, no fixed bridges on this side. Okay? So again, waterfront can be a little bit deceiving here, depending on whether you're east or west of the fixed bridge, right? Okay. Prices are going to start $900,000 in the area, median ask of 2.8. If we travel, I think this is the best way to do it. If we travel east here, Sea Ranch Lakes, intracoastal, commercial doesn't have a fixed bridge, right? Comes up and goes down, so you can get any size boat you want, unless you're a cruise ship, up here. Lauderdale by the Sea is going to be down here. They're completely separate Sea Ranch Lakes. I don't know why I can't say that today. And Lauderdale by the Sea, but kind of lump them a little bit. This has been talked about a whole lot lately because of Messy Mania. There's a reason for it. There are only a handful of communities in Fort Lauderdale that have staffed gates and private security, or staffed gates and Fort Lauderdale police, which patrol the areas. So if you're interested in a gated community with a manned gate or a staffed gate, there's going to be much fewer options than if you want a gated community with just one of those fob in, fob out, or punch a code in and the gate opens. Note, logically speaking, of course, those communities with staffed gates are going to cost more money in regular monthly fees, as well as just the value of the homes, because that's a real scarcity of supply. We just don't have a whole lot of that. So anyways, prices right here, they're going to start above $1 million with a median of $3 million. And I'm just going to kind of lump all this together. I'm not going to separate out this area from this, but and I'm not going to separate out waterfront from non-waterfront, but you get the idea. We're starting to get into the larger price points, and you're starting to get a whole lot more of different things. If you want waterfront or non-waterfront, if you want fixed bridge and not fixed bridge, we're kind of bumping into all of it. So let's scroll out a little bit here. So let's now look this square. We're going to be south of Commercial, east of US 1, north of Oakland Park Boulevard. Okay? This is going to put you into Coral Ridge Country Club, Galt Ocean Mile, Bermuda Riviera. Galt Ocean on the east side, right along here, all condo buildings. Okay, and of course this is the beachfront. Typically a decent amount of condo supply here along the beach. It's going to be less pricey than the condos as we travel down the beach towards Las Olas. So if you're looking for oceanfront at a little bit of a better price, Galt Ocean is probably going to be somewhere that you want to start looking at things. Condos are going to start at $400,000 with a median ask of $775, call it $800. if you're looking at single-family homes, an important note here. North of Commercial Boulevard, you're not tied to Bayview Elementary School. So, or excuse me. Zoom out. I meant to say north of Oakland Park Boulevard. You're not tied to Bayview Elementary. So down here, you're in Bayview. Up here, you're not. Okay? Single family home prices, they're going to start above $1 million here. Now, again, we're going to get into some pricey real estate. So we're going to start at $1 million. You're going to run all the way up against $40 million. The median ask, just under $3 million. So there's a reason for it. We have golf course community. We have intracoastal without fixed bridges. So you're getting into things that people are really desiring and looking for here. Higher priced area. Another staffed gated community. If you don't want to be on the water, right here, staffed and gated. And also the lots here are much larger. This actually used to be this is obviously the golf course. This used to be the driving range for the golf course. And they split it off a number of years ago. Probably, 7-8 years ago now. And created this. All right. Let's scroll down to our next section here. Be a little bit of a long one. Here's Sunrise Boulevard, Federal Highway, Oakland Park Boulevard. Okay? So we're going to stay between Sunrise and Oakland, east of US 1. And let's run through a few different neighborhoods here. I'm going to break these out a little bit because they are a little bit distinct. But we have Fort Lauderdale Beach over here. You have Dolphin Isles in here. And you have Coral Ridge right here. And definitely separate and distinct and worth mentioning. If I scroll in a little bit here, it's going to be Bell Harbor. Not like the Bell Harbor down in Miami. Different one. All right. Most listings here are going to be single-family homes, with the exception of along the beach, where you're going to find a handful of condos. And you can, a lot of these condos are on this side. So, except the Palms here and Auberge, right on the beach. Okay. There are also, you know what, it's worth mentioning here. There's also townhomes that get mixed in here. A lot of these, I know it's hard to tell from the aerial, but against here, a number of these are townhomes, not single family homes. So if you're looking for waterfront townhome with boat dockage, this is kind of somewhere where people end up a lot. So I don't want to get too far into the weeds on pricing, but condos are going to start above $600,000 in buildings, close to or along the beach there. Townhomes north of $750,000. But again, look, single-family homes going to make up most of the inventory. It's going to run you about $1 million for a tear down. Median pricing somewhere around $4 million. Again, you're tied to Bayview because you're going to be between Sunrise and Oakland Park. So if you're in Coral Ridge, you'll be tied to Bayview Elementary, which is right here, and Tons of people ask about that when they're interested in buying a home in the area. Look, Coral Ridge has really good proximity to like everything that you would need. There's a reason it's so popular. You're very close to the beach. Hugh Taylor, really cool place to check out. All kind of, it doesn't take too long to get into downtown. A lot of these streets, because they do kind of zigzag, you don't get a whole lot of traffic through the neighborhood unless you're on like Middle River or Bayview. But the side streets don't have a whole lot of traffic, so there's a reason that it's really popular, honestly. All right. Now, as we move down, we're going to start to get into some of the pricey real estate. Let's look, here's Sunrise, here's 17th Street, here's Federal Highway. So, Victoria Park, Rio Vista, this is all Fort Lauderdale Beach, this is Las Olas Isles, and Harbor Beach down here. So we're going to start to get into some of the priciest real estate in all of Fort Lauderdale. Let's start in Vic Park. Up here. I'm going to pretty much ignore condos in Victoria Park. There are a couple, but there's one right here, one over here. But these are kind of more, a downtown feel. Most people moving into Victoria Park that call me anyways are really just looking for a townhome or a single family. And look, there's been a massive amount of townhome construction in Victoria Park, and the simple reason for that is because zoning in some areas of Victoria Park allow it, and that's just kind of highest and best use for a piece of land that has a tear-down home on it. For people curious, here we are. Victoria Schumann Elementary, which is very highly rated, is the elementary school for Victoria Park. And that's where it's located. Broward Boulevard here, Las Olas here, Federal Highway here. Here we go. Townhome's going to start right around $800,000 with a median price of $1.5 million. Single family home's going to make up the bulk of the inventory. $850,000 for teardown or land value, median price of $1.7 million. Let us head south. Now I'm going to call all of this area Rio Vista, even though locals would cringe, because for the most part, people kind of think about this, and a little bit over here is Rio Vista. This area is very near and dear to my heart because this is where Candace and I first lived when we were in Lauderdale, when we moved here. So I can tell you a whole lot about it, but anyways, as you can clearly see, there's a mix of waterfront and non-waterfront. Fixed bridge right here in Rio Vista. That's Southeast 9th down here. I can just prove it. There we go. So you kind of want to be aware of that the dockage size is going to change from here to here, right? This was Huizinga's old compound. Just one of the coolest things you can see from the Intracoastal when you're riding through on the water side. Anyways, land value is going to be above $1 million. Median pricing $4 million. If you are in Rio Vista and you're looking at schooling, let me see if I can. Bethany Christian's where a lot of people in the neighborhood go, but the public school it's tied to is Harbordale Elementary, which is going to be down here. There is kind of one note about Rio Vista that I think when people are looking at it from a distance and there's a whole lot of golf carts in the community, but you can't just conveniently walk to Las Olas from Rio Vista. This is the tunnel. You would have to walk through the tunnel if you were walking, or you'd walk along the waterway, walk across this bridge. Right there. To get onto Las Olas. So that it is a little bit of a difference in the neighborhood. It does keep it kind of separated. And again, look, there's just not a whole lot of pass-through traffic in here. Especially like once you get out here, there aren't a whole lot of cars driving up and down these streets. So if you're kind of looking for less congestion anyways out in front of your house, kind of good option over there. All right. Scroll back around. Readjust ourselves. Corner of Federal Highway and Las Olas right here. Coley Hammock. Boop. So it's a small area. There's not a whole lot of inventory in here, as you can see and guess. But it is, look, it's a great neighborhood in terms of proximity to fun stuff to do. Mix of single-family homes and townhomes. But again, most of the inventory is single-family homes. Land value is going to be in excess of $1.5 million. And look, for the most part, if you tell me you want to come somewhere, you want to be in a neighborhood where you can just within minutes walk to all sorts of entertainment, this really, south of Broward, north of Las Olas, down in through here, this is going to be your wheelhouse. This is going to be probably what's going to be most interesting to you. It's going to come along with a price tag, but that's kind of how it goes. All right. Here we are at Las Olas Isles. Sunrise Key up here. You access this through, there's a gate here, but it's not a staffed gate. Even though it's separate from Las Olas Isles, a lot of the times people looking to buy in the Isles also look up here in Sunrise Key. So just kind of a side note. Look, there's a lot to unpack in the Isles, and I can do a whole separate video that would take me a while to go through, but at the end of the day, it's synonymous with luxury homes and large yachts. Truly home to some of the most spectacular real estate in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, when people do pictures of Lauderdale, you often see the Isles. So one of those areas, or probably the first area we're going to get into, where if you have to ask how much something is, you may want to look elsewhere. It's an expensive place. The last number of years have seen in condos and townhome projects that have popped up a lot, kind of right along here. But anyways, median teardown value is going to be around $2 million just in this area. That's just realistic. Land value now is around $2 million. If you want one of the condos and townhomes, median asks about $1.5 million. So single family homes, the median ask up around $7.5 million. Sorry to jump around a little bit there, but my thoughts get kind of jumbled. I have a lot of numbers that kick around in my head. So anyways, let's jump over to Fort Lauderdale Beach. This is the area most people think of when they think of Fort Lauderdale Beach, and of course, elbow room right down here, which just about everybody knows. This is where the hotels that are beachfront kind of pop up. Note, we are not like areas in Miami where our beach had condo buildings built on the sand. There's a really good reason for that. If this building was moved onto the beach sand and the sun comes in from the west, it casts a shadow onto the beach sand. Because ours are set back, we don't get that shadow casting that you get down in areas of Miami. So very thankful that we had the foresight to set these back. Anyways, Fort Lauderdale Beach, well known, always popular with buyers. Mix of inventory in terms of pricing and what kind of units are available. Exclusively condo and townhome inventory here. Marbella townhomes here. In past videos, you may have heard me talk about that a lot. Anyways, the majority is going to be condo, not townhome. So there's always a decent supply listed for sale. The market moves at a decent pace because people are always interested in Fort Lauderdale Beach. There's always an interest in it, right? Now, the condo hotel units that get mixed in, those are a different beast from straight condos themselves. They're older and low-rise buildings mixed into here. There's also new construction and expansive units right along here that really, some of the product that's come out, if we kind of go up the beach a little, like to Paramount, some of the inventory and the amenities that these buildings are being built with, and the finishes, there's just some really good product that's come up in the condo market. And look, this is going to make the median asking price deceiving. But we've come this far, so we're going to kind of go along with it. The median price at the time of this video was $1.2 million. Here's the thing, that's going to include a bunch of condo hotel units at places like Q Club that are going to skew pricing to the downside. It's not a totally accurate number, so don't live and die by that number. But all right, we are getting towards the end, so bear with me for just a few minutes more. We're almost done. Oh, one of my favorite restaurants in Fort Lauderdale. If you come and visit, want to take me for a drink because you love this video so much, you can take me there. All right. You probably have to bring my wife too. Probably my kid. All right. Quick note, Pier 66 being redeveloped. I'm going to take that as kind of a separate thing as an aside. Because it's a newer or the newest pre-construction condo that you can buy in the area right now. So if you were looking for a pre-construction condo, you can do this. There is some other stuff up in North Beach, but it's pretty much sold out at this point. So if you're looking for pre-construction, that's a separate conversation that we can have. Feel free to call and ask me about it. Anyways, let's start down here around Harbor Inlet. So there is a little bit of a catch to this. The condo inventory around here. So even though the location is phenomenal, because we're talking about right on the beach, a lot of the inventory is going to be older and lower rise buildings. You want to ask a lot of questions if you're looking in this area. Given the age of construction of these buildings, you're going to want to ask a lot of questions if you're looking at a condo about structural integrity, concrete restoration, where condo complexes are in in their whole process, because there's going to be assessments in most of these buildings for, look, there's a price to live along the salt water, and that price comes at the expense very often in concrete restoration projects, because the salt water is going to eat away at the exterior of buildings. So you just want to know, when was the last time an assessment was done for that? Is there one coming up? Just a lot of questions to be asked in general. So anyways, in condos anyway, the median asking price, $750,000. If we kind of look over here to the single family home market, which I get a decent number of people looking to move in here that are asking me, because all along here is, I mean, you have views of the port and kind of your own beach. It's really pretty wild. So anyways, along with that, for the landlocked stuff here, tear down's going to be $1.6 million. Whether I'm just going to lump together waterfront, non-waterfront in the area, and median ask is $3.5 million. So that's the deal there. Now, wanted to make this our last stop because it's the one where it's kind of the wow factor. That's going to be Harbor Beach. All this stuff. As you may have guessed, if you're looking at this, it's not going to be cheap. So Harbor Beach has its own staffed gate. It also has 24-hour Fort Lauderdale police private patrol. It even has a private beach. It even has its own private marina. That's exclusive for the members of the community and only for the members of community. So buckle your seatbelt. Let's just go with the median price. Because again, if you have to ask about teardown, it's median price at the time of this video to be in Harbor Beach was $15 million. So if you are somebody who's looking for security, privacy, and you can afford it, this is where I'm going to tell you we should probably go and look. It's spectacular, as you may imagine, because it comes along with the price tag. But if you're truly looking for something that's really got a wow factor and is secluded and the most secure that I think you can really find in the single-family home world, this is where we're going to want to look. A lot of big names live here. And as you can see, we're not talking about a ton of homes, right? So that's the deal. That's what I have for you. I hope you liked it. Again, please leave me some comments as to the individual neighborhoods you would want me to run through. And do me a favor, please like the video, because it just helps me out to let me know what you guys want to see. Subscribe so you can get some updates. And that's it, guys. My name is Casey Prindle, and I enjoyed doing this for you.